Media companies are not in the business of newspapers, magazines, websites, television. They're in the business of brands and audiences. Influencers are also using mainstream media to build their brands. We don't really want a good measurement. There are vested interests. I think the future is a lot about specialized content in every domain, and we have to rethink our business models. The cost structures have to change. There has to be better managerial talent in media companies.
So let's focus now on media. What are the challenges that various media and publishers are doing? What is happening there?
See, first of all, you have to, media is a very broad term.
Very true.
Media companies are not in the business of newspapers, magazines, websites, television. They are in the business of brands and audiences. Whether it's a ZTV or a ZTV, it's repurposing. See, first of all, we all are screenagers. We may not be teenagers, but we are on our screens getting. But, it is causing damage to our eyes. Also, there is ad fatigue, there is screen fatigue, there is ad frauds in digital, there is bots, there is digital avoidance of ads. People are putting blockers.
Yeah.
So clearly, mainstream media, at least in India, has some more years to be in its prime. For now, linear TV is still very relevant. Anybody who says linear TV is dead does not know the power of TV. Yes, linear TV is competition. Yes, there are other alternatives that are eating away from linear TV.
You are very right, because the latest media compass by Cantor that we just recently shows that linear TV is the #1 medium in this country.
It is. Can I tell you, I wrote this in column 2 years back. Somebody said to me, "Oh, TV is dead." I gave 3 examples, and let me say that. I said, if you have to do something, there is a show on the rise and fall of MX Player. I think it's only risen, but it's on TV. I mean, it's ironic. And I gave 3 examples. I said, I know some of the anchors, and when I'm out with them, people are taking selfies with them, primarily because they're on television. They may amplify. Second, I talked of an entrepreneur who I met almost 7-8 years back, maybe 8 years back. He won the Business World's 40 under 40. And he went on Shark Tank as a judge, Aman Gupta. And he's become a celebrity. Television has made him the celebrity. And third, my friend Markan Adhikari, who's a pioneer in the broadcasting business.
Indeed.
Yeah. He introduced me to a Big Boss contestant. Her name is Saundarya Sharma. Before she was in Big Boss, and after I met her, she's now cutting ribbons. It's because she was in the Big Boss. Of course, television content is being consumed on digital platforms. And one thing is there, the need for brand building using traditional platforms. So, first of all, news media, news consumption online is big. I mean, people are watching news channels on YouTube. So the content is being watched. People are following those news anchors on X or Twitter or YouTube. So at the end of the day, we are in the business of content and brand. Now the consumption may happen through an over-the-top platform. I mean, YouTube is the biggest.
True.
But connected TVs are a reality. YouTube is a reality. The influencer ecosystem is a reality. So there is, linear TV is being chipped at. It has to keep pace. It has to reinvent. The pricing may be needed to be reinvented.
Yes.
But it is still very, very big in India as of today. 5 years from now, I don't know. But today it is. Look at the newspaper advertising in India. People talk about newspapers being dead. India is different. Maybe 5-10 years we may reach there. Dainik Bhaskar has done 300 crores plus profit. Look at Times of India. Look at HT. And they're also building digital businesses. In fact, the last 3-4 years have seen the resurgence of print. You may say they've also done well because the newsprint prices were low. Of course, that has contributed. But look at the advertising.
The volume, sheer volume.
Volume of advertising in newspapers. Even magazines are doing well. We in the newspaper and magazine business don't talk too much about ourselves. We're doing okay, right? Whether you look at a Vikatan in Chennai, you look at a Matrabhumi or a Malayalam Manorama in KL, 2 days back was Onam. Just look at the volume. Look at the events they are doing. And influencer is a very important, medium, because if an influencer has 5 million, 10 million, it's as big as some of the media platforms.
True.
So the influencer is also using mainstream media to build their brands. And we're talking of radio being dead for 20 years, newspaper being dead for 10 years. Mediums also evolve. But every medium has its unique quality, and advertisers come to it for that. The viewers or readers come to it for it. That's not going to go away. Now, how do you define events? The experiential media is growing. In the last year, look at the economy around gigs, economy around music concerts, record numbers attending. It's spill off on the economy.
Yeah, and in a sense, digital out of home getting into with these events. In fact, the study I spoke to you about, which is the Kantar Media Compass, it says that outdoor is still in the measurement, okay? And
it is
still the top 5 media in this country.
It will. See, we spend so much time on the road, in traffic, we're going to malls. I mean, the beauty about e-commerce is that while we like to get things through quick commerce platforms, the experience of shopping is still there. Go to a mall, see the number of people in the malls. Go to cinema halls. Much more people need to go to cinema halls. I mean, podcasting is big. It's bigger than ever. But there's so much fragmentation in podcasting. You don't know whose podcast to hear. Of course, if you talk to a podcasting founder, he'll tell you the size of a podcasting universe is bigger, because you can listen to a podcast having breakfast, in the drive, when you go for a run.
Yeah.
But is that active engagement? Is that a question you got to ask? I don't know. But when I'm watching, today is Sunday, I will watch Fareed Zakaria's show, GPS, on CNN, wherever I am. These days I watch it. I have Geo TV on my phone, so I watch CNN on that and I watch it there. Yeah. But I am engaged with the content. Strong content in any platform will work. So the creation of content which is differentiated has to be right, and the platform has to be big.
So that brings me to the question. What are the new challenges in content that media is now
content, what has happened, let me give you an example from a movie business. Movie business in India didn't work for a long time. We were spending 100 rupees on a big movie, let's say 100 crores. The star was taking minimum 30 to 70 crores.
Correct.
So you are actually left with very little to make the movie.
Money, yeah.
Right, to make the movie.
Make the movie, yeah.
Right.
Let's make the movie.
And then you have to market the movie. In the US, if you spend $200 million on a movie to make it, the star would get only 10 million, 5%. Marketing would take 20%. In India, stars getting minimum 30% to 70%, depending on who the star is. Now you're leaving. That is now getting corrected in the last 12 months.
Okay.
Right? Stars have realized and producers have realized that doesn't work, so they've kind of morphed it. Similarly, the content costs were going up. That has to be looked at. Second is the scale going up. The content that was being created in southern cinema, the scale of it, the magic of movie making, the magic of sets, the magic of, big stars, and good storytelling, fast, pacey, and good content works. More and more content in every genre is being consumed. Today all of us are spending so much time consuming content, right? In fact, Sripad, it may be a great time to build a content discovery platform.
Okay.
The people don't know where to discover what content, right? I'm just saying, I'm sure somebody is already building that, right? Or built it, we may or may not know. So now let's come to media. See, first of all, I believe that whenever Mr. Ambani gets into something, I mean Mr. Mukesh Ambani, it is at a global scale. And the content is glued to commerce. Mr. Ambani getting into content in the last decade is good for the content ecosystem. With Jio Viacom and now Jio Viacom Disney, the new Jio entity, Jio Media. Apart from sports content in all genres will see huge investments. They've talked about a certain number of investment in content. So it's good for the content ecosystem. Then there is the Netflix of the world, there is Amazon, I mean, this year's biggest movie is F1. It was produced by Apple TV. So platforms like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, it put more and more money in content.
What about the delivery? Are new challenges?
No,
that
but
is
delivery is
facing?
easy. See, today's India's humongous number of people on a digital ecosystem. So delivery is not an issue. It is the strength of the platform that matters, but it is also the content quality, storytelling, its marketing, all these matter. At the end of the day, people have to discover content and then they stay on. Also, there is certain kind of genres growing. I mean, there is Salakar, this genre which has, nationalistic themes. Always, biopics have a huge pull, right? When we talk of OTT. Sports is religion in this country. Uday Shankar realized very early that sports is what he needs to focus on. And, sports is something people pay money for. They pay subscription monies. Then you build around sports. News consumption is growing, but the model of news television is under pressure. Cost of people is going up. Advertising is not growing at that pace. And news has a certain purpose. When events happen, the way people glue onto news, it doesn't happen in any other medium. So news has a purpose. It has a certain loyal audience. News works. And news broadcasting owners also repurposing their content for younger audiences. They're also building content on Instagram, on platforms where consumption of their very solid content can happen. I hope that, like Mr. Ambani, there are other players. I mean, there's nobody like Mr. Ambani who build global media companies out of India. I'm sure he'll build. There's no question. And he has the right collaborations. They have the right mindset. And whatever business they've got in scale. The Z-Sony merger didn't happen. Dr. Subhash Chandra is himself at the helm of affairs, working with Mr. Puneet Goenka to build Z to the next level, Z to the next level. Sony has a very dynamic leader in Gaurav Banerjee. I think the best choice for the job. So I'm sure they're smart people. They understand the ground realities. They would be making changes to the kind of content, the kind of talent they have. And while they retain what they have, they also destroy some bit of what's not working and create something fresh. So depends on what genre you are in. And let me say that content creators in any format have a very bright future. As long as the quality of content they create is fantastic, is superlative, it is of scale, good storytelling. That's what's happening.
So that brings me to one, critical issue. Somehow the industry has been lagging behind on measurement, is what I think we see. So why is it, and why can't
You
it
tell
be
me,
right?
Shripad, you've been. But I think we don't really want a good measurement. There are vested interests, whether in broadcasting, who want a certain kind of system. Then there is money to be put in. Then there is the government or policy makers. Now there's television is one, newspapers and magazines is another. There's been a stalemate in IRS. Digital is another.
Monster, huge monster.
So I think we need independent third-party measurement. I think any ecosystem that is led by either the media platform or led by the advertiser, because the advertiser would also want to make sure that he or she gets most value for the money they put. So hence, if there is too much growth that is being shown, it may lead to more investment. So theoretically, it looks very good. We have somebody from the broadcaster ecosystem, we have somebody from the client ecosystem, we have somebody from the agency ecosystem. So hence we have all, and then we have some policy maker. We have everything represented. But it doesn't bring out the best. There are compromises everywhere. We are doing what is acceptable to everyone, not necessarily what should be done. I have written a lot about TV measurement. My views are known. It is flawed. Now, the question to ask, it is flawed by design or it is flawed because perfect mechanism don't exist. That's a question, multiple $1 billion question. It's not a $1 billion question. That we'll leave to your imagination. But clearly there are vested interests that don't really want an honest system. The rating system for most part has been less than perfect. And unless until the real stakeholders, which is the advertisers, let a third party do it, don't get involved themselves. They can be custodians, but don't let the agency and the broadcasters get involved. Then an honest system will come. I know some people will not agree with me, but that's okay. But I'm saying this with all honesty, sincerity, and my love for this industry. If you really want, it may bring out something good. Now the broadcasters say we are funding the mechanism. They would all obviously want measurement to show up certain kind of results. I don't think that's the right way. You have to bring very credible people, very high integrity people, very high domain experts, use technology. But there first has to be an intent that we let an honest system be there, even if it in the short term it doesn't work for individual players. I think that's the most important thing. So media is not going, as long as we retain the old reasons for why readers or viewers came to us, we retain the basic nature of the product, but we build around it. So we build our own influencer ecosystem. We build our own digital platforms. We build our own events. And that's already happening in the last decade. See, the future is about super specialization. Sushi food, not even Japanese, sushi. You go to Korean food. I mean, in content there is K-pops. Similarly, the Korean food is taking over the world. The future is about, even in business media is growing, because more and more people want to create wealth. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to list their companies. So business media is growing, but it requires investments so that you're able to deal with deep pockets of tech platforms. So I think the future is a lot about specialized content in every domain, and we have to rethink our business models. The cost structures have to change. There has to be better managerial talent in media companies. I think we need the kind of managerial talent that you have in a Hindustan Levers, in a Procter and Gamble, or companies that select the best talent on campuses like the consulting companies or financial services companies. We need to attract that kind of talent to media. I think that will build good insights and good product. So I'd like to see more CMOs become CEOs. Now that will happen when they really do this growth role well.